Okay, hello everyone and welcome. I'm Jenna Blackbird.
And I'm Leonka Reina.
This is the Help Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today we're talking with Fallon Jordan, one of our favorites when it comes to brain health and ADHD. She even talks about how you can prevent dementia, and she's become one of my good friends too.
Yay!
Yeah.
Fallon, welcome, welcome. We're so excited. And one of the cool things about Fallon, just so before you jump right in, is that she really gets this energy stuff. So she's really taken this, what she's learned from like the Amen Institute around the mental health and ADHD healing and like even supplements, and then bridges it with like what we know about energy work and about like a lot of mysticism and bringing that in and really listening in and intuitively like healing people and working with them even on a soul level. So I think this is so amazing that we get to feature Fallon today. Thank you.
And I just
Thank
have
you
one
guys.
other things to say. She did a psychic reading on my beach house,
Oh,
kind
cool.
of to just to add energy to it and attention to it to see if we could move it, quite literally. And it was really cool. I was just like, oh, this is so adorable. It like had its own frequency and its own desires, and
Oh,
it
makes sense.
really is
Yeah.
an entity. So I thought it was fascinating.
Fallon, would you be open to doing some live readings today for some folks if they wanted to raise their hands? I think we really want to showcase your work and just give people an opportunity to really experience you.
Yeah.
I would love that. Like I love
Yay.
Q&A because anything I share is going to be helpful for everybody else on the call.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, everyone, raise your hands if you'd like to get some information from Fallon.
Let's
Otherwise, I'd be.
go.
Doing that.
Let's
So
go.
let
I got
let
my crystal ball. Like
Woo!
I'm
I
ready.
think you're probably going to need to tell them really what you do first
Yes,
before
yes.
we cue things up
Yeah.
here. But where would you start with somebody who is ADHD and everywhere in the world, kind of, and they just are like, I'm just not focused. I'm not productive. I'm procrastinating. I mean, these are all symptoms of
I'll
ADHD.
I'll use my own self as an example. Yes, I procrastinate, and yes, I'm the person that cannot sometimes trust my own like I always say I'm going to remember that, but I really cannot trust my own like brain. And that's sad, right? Like it's a little bit sad. So I've had to do all these really strange things to overcompensate for that. So like I have to stay super organized. I have to put my brush in the same exact place. Otherwise, my brush is gone and it is out there in the ethers. Like, I mean, it's to be nowhere found. Like
This is very
it's
true.
so it is very true. And so I have to keep things super organized. Otherwise, I don't trust myself. I just don't. Like I have to go back and like always be double checking. Even if I just write a sentence and then like a little letter, I was always leaving words out. I felt really dumb at work sometimes because I was always the one that could not move that fast. And I'm really smart, and I know that about myself, but I also know that I cannot rely on that other part of my brain that everyone else does, like the common sense part. No bueno.
So where would you start,
Well,
Leonka, with this
I'm like the
mess that you
so
made?
I'm like the absent-minded professor. Like I'm totally
Okay.
that. And if I didn't try and keep my life in somewhat balance, otherwise I'd be like all over the place. Even procrastination.
Your holidays were good.
well,
Yeah.
you're already creating sacred systems for yourself, right? Like
I,
having the brush in the same place. And I think that that's something that's really important. But then giving yourself grace. We don't talk about the brain. People don't understand that the brain is so soft. It's literally fat and water. It's the consistency of soft butter that's been left out for a couple of days on the counter in your cute little butter dish.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's in your skull floating in water. And so when something happens, whether you slip and fall on the ice, or you have a concussion when you're playing soccer, you get in a car accident over 25 miles an hour, your head, your brain is floating and it's having this basically this trauma, which is why I don't believe in mild traumatic brain injury. And not everybody becomes a completely different person the day after a concussion. Typically, it's about 6 to 9 months where you start to have cognitive or personality changes. And so procrastination is one of my favorite things to talk about. And it's like Virgo season. Let's like squash this procrastination. So, yes, there's an energetic part to that. And, I always set up my containers to motivate and excite people to get organized and stop procrastinating on their dreams. But then from a brain health perspective, there's supplements like tyrosine, which are completely safe to take, and you can dose it however you decide to for yourself. It's literally sending healthy levels of dopamine to your prefrontal cortex versus unhealthy dopamine, which is scrolling on TikTok. And so that's why I'm so grateful for my journey. So if anyone's not familiar with Amen Clinics, it's the institute that Dr. Daniel Amen runs, and he does brain spec scans and he does holistic treatment plans. Typically, he sees a lot of patients with mental health issues or neurological issues. And so I got to learn so much, and I got to help so many people under that umbrella. And I mean, his outcomes are better than any published outcomes in medicine. He gets 80% of his patients and having an 85% quality of life or better after 6 months. And when I first started, the numbers were much lower, and I actually created a whole SOP to get better outcomes, which were little breadcrumbs and nuggets from my angels and guides that no, 100% of your clients get 1,000% better in way less than 6 months. And so I kind of took all of the 3D tools like supplements, like hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and I blended it with this energy work because for myself, that's what I really needed. And just to share a story about procrastination. So I procrastinated really big things, like scary things like taxes and getting my license renewed. But when it came to like stuff around the house and everything, I was almost this OCD, like I'm a piece of shit if I don't do this right now. So even my motivation was not the way that I wanted it to be. It was not heart-centered. It was not intentional. Like even just washing the dishes, like, wow, look at me washing the dishes. And I'm not putting this off because I know how good it feels to have a clean kitchen and to have nothing. You want to get me excited, like show me a dishwasher that's empty and a sink that's empty. Like I am just beside myself with excitement. But I know that about myself because I know specifically for me, like what dishes does on a subconscious level, because everything in your environment, whether you're conscious of it or not, is going through your eyes. And your eyes are connected to the cerebellum. The name's not important, but it's where 50% of your neurons are. So everything that you're taking in, whether you're conscious or not, is going through your eyes, and your body is deciding, is this making me feel safe or is this going to put me in fight, flight, or freeze? And so that's why I'm super passionate about people creating sacred systems, like always putting their brush in the right place, or creating a sacred home where you are sending energy, you are paying attention to the energy of that home and the beautiful, beings that are there to support you. And I think that that's why it's so important to go through this process of like, okay, where in my spiritual mastery do I want to step up? Where in my physical health do I want to stick up? And I mean, Dave Asprey got a brain scan when he was already famous and doing Bulletproof, and his brain scan did not look good because he had mercury toxicity. It's not something a normal doctor tests for. He was excited because he's like, oh, wow, like this is why there's something still off.
Right.
And so I love reading brain spec scans, and I literally do it in my sleep. But the gift of doing that for so many years is that I can actually do that as a part of my medical mediumship now. And I can actually see the parts of your brain that aren't functioning well, and then very targeted recommendations. Like I, got tyrosine for Lianka. There's so many different supplements and tools out there, and unfortunately, a lot of them are the ones that you don't hear about as much. And think what you want about big pharma and stuff, but there's supplements that are so powerful that you literally grow new cells and neurons every single time that you take it. An example is phosphatidylserine, which I talked about last week, because it literally goes straight to your mitochondria and it literally strengthens them and then multiplies the healthy cells that are in your brain. So I love that I get to play with all of these different things. And, there are a lot of people who have a healthy brain. They're not really worried about their health, but they still have this procrastination issue, or they're still really just unable to declutter this one part of their house because, this was something that happened to one of my ADHD families I did an in-home container with, it was supposed to be her daughter's room and she had a miscarriage. And so when we're talking about taking care of your brain and taking care of your home, you have to understand how everything is connected, because your subconscious doesn't lie and it doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. Everyone here knows that. You follow all the people that talk about that.
Yeah, yeah.
But we have to really think about, what does it mean to be trauma informed and actually supporting myself with tools so that I can go through this stuff and I can break down and fall into Fallon's arms, knowing that it's not about forgetting, it's about honoring and understanding that, yeah, you had a beautiful daughter in the spirit world, and she is, this is very specific message of like what she wanted you to know about your power.
Right.
And it shifts everything. It really does. And I think that the brain and the subconscious is like so fun for anyone who loves Carl Jung, which I personally love him. And he talks about the subconscious in the dream space, and it's related to a house. Like, I have dreams about houses all the time.
I do too.
Yeah. And then you think about, oh, I wonder how that's like actual literal, but then how is that relating to my subconscious also? But it gets to go both ways. And one of my favorite things about some people who have talked more about dream work based on Carl Jung's work, they'll actually tell you, like, give you commands and mantras and things that you can use in your sleep to reprogram your subconscious so that it sends a ripple effect throughout your entire home. And if anyone here has lost something like really important to them, and then you get really mad, and then you're like, you know what? I feel like someone's playing a joke on me. Or I feel like, for me, it's like my fairies, they're being playful. And I'll tell you what, I loved hide and seek as a kid. I grew up in Maine. I loved playing manhunt, which is like outdoor.
You're the only other person that's called manhunt. I broke my foot playing manhunt.
It was
Okay,
my entire.
I digress. Go ahead.
No, I love that, because a lot of people don't know that term, but it was my whole childhood. So it makes sense that when I'm going through, especially if I'm getting like really keyed up and like,
Yeah,
they're working too hard or being hard on myself, this is the fairies' way of communicating with me, because they know if something is missing, there's something seriously wrong with me, because I always know where my stuff is.
yes.
And this literally happened the other day. My favorite sunglasses. My whole journey with sunglasses and spirit guides, like,
I think
like,
people can relate.
Yeah, I'm like, there's literally no way that my sunglasses are gone. Where did they go? What is going on? And I went for a long drive without my sunglasses, my emergency sunglasses, which I don't like as much. And then I got home and I had to go grab something out of one of my bins that had like my hair stuff in it. But they were just sitting right there. And what happened is they fell out of my purse. But I only buy purses that are hard on the bottom so that they stay sitting up.
Yeah.
But one of my fairies tipped it over, like, to play with me. And I think that's what's important, especially we're talking about ADHD and memory, is, okay, what can I do to physically strengthen my brain? And I have a million ways that I can do that. And they're all things you can learn on my website and my YouTube and podcast. But where can I also allow spirit to support me and understand that it's not immediately just like a clinical problem that I need to run and talk to somebody about. There's a deeper thing, because our angels only have so many ways to communicate with us. And they're sending you angel numbers and, animal
They're doing all the
signs.
things.
Yeah. And you're still not listening. They're going to have to do something more extreme. And for whatever your extreme thing is, like, and mine is like, I know where all my stuff is.
Yeah.
And if it's gone, then there's like, that's a lesson.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's an energy drain. When something goes missing, then you've got to put a bunch of energy into finding it, and it's an energy drain. I have a really embarrassing story on how I lost like $4,000 earrings.
No.
I was going to the pool and was like, well, I don't want to swim with these. So I yanked them out and left them on the kitchen table, and forgot that I left them on the kitchen table. All I knew is I wanted to yank them out before we went swimming. And next thing I know, I can't find my earrings the next day. I look everywhere. I'm like in all the boxes that they're supposed to be into and everything. Spent so much time looking for these earrings, and then realized that I have 2 new cats, and I found one of them on the kitchen floor.
Eek.
of 4.
Oh.
So it makes me really want to put focus on being very
Intentional.
living with things intentionally. I think it all matters as far as who
Yeah.
we are as a being.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, I don't want to, I can talk all day. So
Yes.
I
Did
wanted
you?
to take some callers.
Yes.
Oh, yes. And somebody asked where to get the supplement, the tyrosine that you mentioned.
Yes, I put it in there. And
Okay.
so with tyrosine, the fun thing is that you start with typically 500 milligrams in the morning on an empty stomach is very important. So I recommend having them next to your bed with your water. You take them as soon as you wake up, do your stuff, and then 30 minutes later, you can do whatever you want. But then you can play with the dosing. So you can do an early afternoon dose, and you can actually go up to 3,000 milligrams a day. And I mean, all the ADHD kids that I work with, I would say 9 out of 10 of them are taking high doses of tyrosine. So this is part of the deprogramming too, of like, it's a big scary number, right? 3,000 versus like, always doing your research, number one. But then number two, understanding that like most of the things that I recommend are safe for kids, they're safe for pregnant women. And I actually do have a little chart that I think I'm going to remind myself to send you guys because I think people might
Fabulous.
ask. Yeah.
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 And GABA is the other one, right? For ADHD,
Mhm.
isn't that the one that really kicks in?
Yeah. So Neurolink is a supplement that has tyrosine, GABA, all of the fun things in it. And I would say 9 out of 10 of children or adults that come to me with ADHD, I put them on this supplement immediately. Because what it does is most people, there's 7 types of ADHD. Most people have multiple types of ADHD. And so yes, maybe their prefrontal cortex isn't working as great, but it's only because the rest of their brain is working so hard overtime. And so what Neuralink does is it's helping calm down the 5 or 6 areas of the brain that are too active and gently stimulating the prefrontal cortex. And that's the problem with stimulants is you imagine taking a stimulant on a brain that's already way overactive, you understand why it doesn't work. So this is my favorite, most powerful supplement. I took it for a very long time and I love it because a lot of the ADHD kids that I work with, I'd be on a follow-up call and the mom would be like, can I just take this? I'm like, of course you can just take it. And she'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like my whole family's on Neuralink. And I'm like,
Nice.
yay. Like, and again, short-term to solution that you can use whenever you need to in the future, but just getting your brain calmed down is really important. And, my goal is to have Neuralink in every school, hospital. Like, it's just something that a lot of people need because our brains are just so overstimulated and our dopamine is being stolen.
Yeah.
Will you drop, I know you just did. Will you drop that URL into the chat one more time so I can grab it? Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to queue up Renee.
Thank you.
Yay. You're so welcome.
Renee, do you have a question
Hello.
for Fallon?
I
Go for it.
do. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I am having neurological decline and pretty much a lot of the things you said I've already experienced, like concussions, mercury fillings. And then I went to multitude of doctors and was told I had MS in the physical exam. And then after he did the MRI, he said nothing's wrong with me. And but I've just had continued decline. And then my dad has Parkinson's. I have a lot of those symptoms as well. So I'm a bit overwhelmed. I've done many supplements and again just overwhelmed. And I'm just wondering if you can just, I sort of at a place of giving up. If there's a place to start, I guess.
I mean,
A
you're here.
simple
This
place
is the
to start.
start.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's true.
you're here and you have access to me now. So I just want to honor you. And I'm not saying this to minimize how you feel, but because of the type of company that I worked at and the fact that we only took cash, And a lot of people still didn't really know about that work, even though there's a million published outcomes, the best one in medical history. Most people that I work with have been in your shoes. They've seen at least 10 different practitioners. They've had an MRI and CT of the brain that shows that it's quote unquote normal. But what these doctors don't understand is that they're not doing brain SPECT imaging, which actually measures blood flow and brain activity. An MRI and a CT is only helpful if you want to make sure that you don't have any dead tissue or that you have a brain bleed, which is why 99% of the people that I've seen over the past 15 years have a normal MRI and a CT scan, and even a normal EEG. And that was the case for me when I was tested for epilepsy and things like that. So everything is connected, and whatever you do feel intuitively pulled to try that I'm going to suggest right now, know that it's not just for you, but these are things that can help your dad. And the way that I personally feel about MS and Parkinson's and dementia and Alzheimer's disease and immune disorders, to me, they're so similar, but doctors are separating it to make you feel separated, to make you feel like they can't help you because you're so unique, when the fact is that you are so unique. You are a 1 in a trillion miracle who decided to come to Earth at this time. Your brain has trillions of connections. Even your heart has trillions of its own connections, let alone the rest of your body, which is so many opportunities for turning on dormant DNA and getting your neurons firing the way that you want. So what I would suggest is that you use your intuition and use the link that I put in the chat and look at the red and white box of supplements. It's the Mac Daddy. This is one of the few things where you can do a before and after brain scan and actually see brain changes after taking 1 dose. And this is the exact protocol that we use to repair the NFL players' brains and severe Alzheimer's brains. It boosts blood flow every time that you take it, and it's amazing. With an MS diagnosis, I would want to know more about your vitamin D. I'd want your vitamin D level to get to 80 on your blood work as quickly as humanly possible. Like, it's the most important thing that you've ever done. And same for your dad. And then doing the heavy metal testing with someone who actually can help you detox safely from those. And then also making sure that that's still not a coexisting disorder, because especially with mold toxicity and Lyme disease, that's like the root cause. And then under
I
that,
forgot to mention, they think I have Lyme disease.
okay. So I would book a call with this doctor I just put in the chat. She is the best Lyme doctor in the entire world. She is the Lyme doctor that trains other Lyme doctors who want to be good Lyme doctors. Okay. And she'll help you get to the root and understand that, I mean, 9 times out of 10, MS is Lyme disease. The other 1%, it's mold. Sometimes it's both. And I would also make sure you talk to her and just let her know you talked to me and I told you to look at this stuff. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an absolute miracle worker. I can't recommend it enough, because what it's doing is it's giving all of your cells the power to regenerate themselves through pressurized hydrogen. We are human. We need enough H2O to function. And I also put my reference to that in the chat so that you can get information about hyperbaric, and you can get it from somebody who I trust. And my journey with vetting professionals for 15 years has been not for nothing. There's a reason why my list of referrals is very short, because I only refer to the best people who have the best products, the best energy, and they understand that every dollar that you give them is a dollar that's not going toward your actual treatment. So I would recommend all of that. And then just kind of keep me posted, because I definitely do feel like I could help you from an energy perspective. And I do sessions specifically for people who are dealing with like aches and pains and things like that. So that is something else that you can look at on my website. Okay. But there is hope, and like the healing is half done now because you have the right people and the right resources, and we're all here to support you. And I always think 10 steps ahead. And this is something that you can help other people with one day, whether it's someone at the coffee shop, whether you are already a healer or you're just helping, you know, your grandson's PTA person. You know what I mean? Like, this
Right.
is what we're up against $15 billion of programming telling that we need pharmaceutical medications outside of ourselves to function. And so it takes communities like this to spread the magic everywhere we go to make a difference.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
You're so welcome.
And in that
What?
order, I just wanted to say, to keep spreading, be sure on YouTube if you want to like and subscribe and hit the bell so that you can keep the notifications. It also tells the algorithm that you want to see more informative information like this instead of all the doom and gloom. That's all. Go ahead.
Well, from an energetic perspective, what kind of made me excited about this was there's so much information out there on how the pharmaceutical drugs are actually keeping us more human and more 3D these days.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
what if we could take more natural approaches and actually support our organic body with organic things so that we don't disrupt our frequency to getting to this more expanded fifth dimensional energy? So that was one of the thoughts that
You
I
know
had
what's
during that.
really funny, and
Mm.
I'm just going to say this on the air, is that there is a lot of stuff that goes into keeping the programming intact. In fact, every time that we try to go and post information on our sessions when and speaking with you, we have to be really careful with what the wording is. Otherwise, the little scrolling bots will automatically try to kick it out and suppress the trending of the actual videos that we do together. And that's just one of the alarming things that I found, that it's just already pre-programmed. This is valuable information. And yes, we can organically share this information, but if you think about it in terms of like that, like just already pre-organized to downtrend these conversations that we have with Fallon, and just because of using certain words, how often is this information just not even reaching the average person? Even still, right? So we make it a point to make sure that we do circumvent some of those things by using all approved information and words in, because look, we are going to say this, right? We're always seek medical advice. Always, talk to your doctors. We're never going to try to pretend that we're going to replace that. But we also are saying there are other ways in which that you can look for supplemental help and supplemental healing, if you will. The whole idea of energy healing can be supplemental, even if you think about it that way. So just wanted to say that too.
Yeah,
That's some food for thought.
absolutely. You think of all the amazing like fantasy stuff where it's like the power of the ring or the power of these magic beans. Like that's how I think of supplements. They're things that we want and we need to get a certain outcome where we no longer need them, right?
Yeah.
I think
And,
that's the important part.
and
I like that
sometimes you
too.
just need to connect with the frequency enough that you could produce even more on your own.
Right. But you sometimes have to get
Exactly.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to
Exactly.
get them to get the frequency of them in your system too.
Our lovely Paula from our inner circle, she has got her hand raised.
Go ahead, Paula.
Yay!
She looks so
Hello.
cute too. What's up,
I know, I
Paula?
love your hair.
Thank you. Oh, I just got it done. Thank you.
Yeah, you look
So
super
cute.
cute. That's what's up.
First of all, I just want to say, Fallon, I absolutely love your message. I love natural organic health. Oh my gosh, I've been so passionate about this for a while. Um, and I'm kind of at a place where it's like I haven't even scheduled an appointment with a regular MD for so many years because I get so frustrated with them. But anyways, um, I am 49. I've eaten organic, super healthy, been almost like bodybuilder shape for many years. And over the past couple years, I have started to like put on weight. My appetite has gone down. Um, I'm I'm also an MG, so I should have unlimited energy. And lately, I have just been like so freaking tired. Yesterday, I took 3 naps.
Yay.
And yeah, working on that not guilt thing, but yes. Um, I do a bunch of supplementation, but I'm just curious, like what your thoughts on are as far as like what type of blood testing, if I need that to be done. Because I've kind of had mixed results from people reading those as well.
Mm.
And like if there's something that you can sense or see or would recommend as far as like the energy, if it's like my level of energy, if it's like a lack of supplementation, if it's an energy issue, or yeah.
So I want to honor that you are an MG, not a G,
Yeah.
and you need to nap and rest. And the energy right now is extremely powerful. And you're getting down crystalline codes, and a nap is just helping them be embedded more into your brain. And I definitely feel like your brain is very thirsty and tired, and it really wants these new crystalline codes. And I know for myself, I'll feel it because I'll put my head like this and I'll just be like dizzy. And of course, like there's people to do that and run to the ER, but I'm like, what is this? And it's like, oh, your crystals are going into your pituitary and we're shooting. You said you wanted to heal fast. Like, we're going to do it fast. So I think that you're getting a lot of upgrades. And I think that the best thing for you to do is when you do feel tired, you're like, wow, this is really cool that I'm tired. Think of how magical things are going to be in a month from now when my brain has been supercharged with crystalline codes and literal crystals, right? I would be curious because of your symptoms and just some of the things that I'm seeing. If you've moved recently, okay, so I do feel there's a cute mama kitty coming over. I do feel like there's some stuff in the house. Um, it's hindering you, and it could be mold. I don't think it's crazy toxic levels or anything, but I feel like there's an energy that just needs to go. Um, because that's that split, right? What's physical with my brain and then what's the quantum. Your brain really wants all of this stuff and it needs to feel comfortable in rest, but you're not fully resting because there's still a part of you that feels unsafe. Because I'm not saying there's anything bad in your house. It's just maybe the person who lived there was really tired and they had chronic fatigue their whole life. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So just commanding, this is my space, and I only allow in the purest energies of perfect divine love. And no one is allowed here that is not of the light and not of that perfect divine love.
What if you have a house guest who's staying, or what if you have, and this is just for everyone, what if you have maybe family member that came to live with you that maybe at the end of their days that could that be playing a factor too? You know,
Yeah, of course. I mean, they're going to have their guides around, like checking on them, making sure they're okay and like this transition. So I think that's also where it's important to pay attention, right? Attention deficit disorder. Pay
uh,
attention to the energy that you're shifting. For example, why did you choose to do yellow flowers in a teal and brown pot? You could have done any type of color vase, could have done any type of color flower. You could have mixed the different flowers. There's a reason why you did that, and it's probably connected to your solar plexus, if I just had to guess. That's a communication. You going and like I do this is one of my favorite things about the magic of the quantum is like I'll go to the store and I'll see something and it's like you have to buy that. I'm like, why would I buy that? Like very specific spice that I have never used and I don't think I like, and it's literally in none of my recipes. And then days later, someone will come to their house and they'll be like, oh, I'm having this very specific weird symptom. And I'll literally Google it. And it's like, this very specific spice is going to help with this specific symptom. So you're getting the messages in everyday life and all of the things that you're already doing. It's just about applying it and attention and intention. But Paula, I will send you a full lab panel recommendation. I am the vitamin D police. Like I want everyone to have a vitamin D level of over 80 because that boosts your immunity. and is actually taking care of your brain at a cellular level. Your brain literally can't function without vitamin D because vitamin D is a neurohormone, which could explain some of the hormonal issues. And I get so upset when people are going on all these hormone treatments, but their vitamin D is low because it's literally not going to work because vitamin D is in charge of producing your hormones. So that's really important. But I feel like you have all the tools. And where do you live?
In Alabama, Birmingham.
Okay. There's a lot of functional medicine doctors there. So I'm not sure if
Really?
you,
Because I Googled it and couldn't find a single one.
oh my gosh, let me see. And then also, like, if there's a doctor you really just want to work with, they don't necessarily have to be someone you see in person. The only reason that you would need someone in your state is if you're going to get a prescription of some kind. And so just keep that in mind. You know, like Dr. Ebony Cornish is like my favorite, and she's in DC and she sees clients for Lyme disease all over the world. And if there's something, which when I say prescription, like things like bioidentical hormones, oxytocin, very specific microbials, then she'll get the GP to prescribe it. So in Alabama, there's 23 people. I'm not sure how many are MDs or not, but it's at least worth a shot. I mean, I do health evaluations as a non-physician, so if you wanted to do that, like, just obviously reach out to me. But you don't have to have somebody right down the street because that's not the way that works. There's not enough doctors that are doing this stuff.
Yeah. So it's
So
seriously.
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of teledocs these days that, you know, you can just
exactly.
go to
Exactly.
an actual lab and they draw the
Yep,
blood and then you have the appointment on Zoom. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
And it puts you
Awesome.
in this sense of empowerment. Like, I hate getting my blood work done, but I do it, obviously. And like, it's always this fun thing because it's just like, yep, take my blood, bye. Like, I don't care if you're a nice nurse. I don't care if you're horrible. It doesn't matter. All I care about is this amazing doctor on the other side of the country taking care of me. And you're just collecting the data. You're just collecting the
Yeah,
data for me. Because when
Absolutely.
you go
yeah.
into an office and everything's there, I mean, there's a reason why I don't like getting my blood work. It's because people that took my blood work when I was little were not good people. And I would literally like have seizures and near-death experiences
Oh.
getting my blood drawn.
Oh.
So anything that's going to make you feel empowered and things being quickly and efficient for you is going to be the thing.
Right.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
so
you.
welcome.
Wow. That was cool. It's kind of cool to see how you do a mini consultation. We've never done that on the show.
Yeah, it's really
Last
cool.
show, I came in with my supplements and had Fallon come with them all.
Honestly, thank you for saying that because like I could literally do this all day and this is like
Mhm.
what I love to do. So
Yeah.
it's pushing me to just do this more.
I love it. I love it. Dana from the chat says, in May, my vitamin D was at 78, and energetically, I feel it's in the low 80s now. So can I take the Brain Power Max?
Yeah, the Brain Power Max only has 2,000 IUs of vitamin D, which is like below maintenance. Like for me, a maintenance dose is 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you just do a straight vitamin D supplement?
If you
And
need
then-
to boost it, yeah.
And then you're particular about, I don't want to say the particular, but you have a good recommendation for where we get it from as well, right?
Yes, everything's going to be on that one link.
Okay.
I love my terminology. Everybody knows that it's Leoncanese anyway.
You speak beautifully. I love you.
Thanks. Let's see. What's
I
love you
think
too.
I would like to bring up your package kind of here in the middle because we did something different with you.
Oh, good.
And you actually can get a session with Fallon now, where before I twisted her arm.
Oh, that's exciting, Fallon. I didn't. Oh my gosh. I knew she
totally
was
forgot.
telling me about it, but wow. I did too.
I was like,
I'm
yep, I untwisted her
excited.
arm, and now this is what we put together.
Oh,
So,
very cool.
Yay. Oh, I'm so excited.
Me too.
so Fallon, you can go ahead and go through this. This is in
Absolutely.
two parts. The first part's the bundle. I don't know that you've seen this page yet. And then the second part is the bundle plus the session.
Oh, I highly
So
recommend.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited. So the thing about ADHD is if you think you have it or you know that you have a 3 times more likely chance of developing dementia. And dementia symptoms start 20 to 30 years before symptoms. And me at the ripe age of 28, when I did
Ah,
Wait,
we lost
I
her.
I thought
literally
maybe I just scrolled through too fast.
had,
Sorry, Fallon, you're kind of breaking up here.
I'm you know
I'm gonna turn off the share. I don't know that it's you.
factor for dementia. Oh yeah, okay. And dementia starts in the brain early. And when I did these labs and assessments that I teach in the courses, I actually showed early dementia at 28, which is crazy because I didn't have crazy bad symptoms, but it's because of the things that we need to test for that we have to really step into our power and say, I'm taking this lab order and I'm going to make sure someone takes my blood and make sure that I get these lab numbers, this data, so that I can reverse what's been done to my brain and my body. And that's what's so beautiful about these courses is that it's teaching you how to heal right now, but you can actually reverse your biological age and the age of your brain. So those of you who are into like telomeres and like DNA activations for anti-aging, this is the thing that a lot of them are not telling you is that you do need to do things like getting these specific labs, getting these deficiencies fixed, basically. And then the supplements and the natural things that you can do. And it being from this general umbrella of, yes, we are addressing your ADHD symptoms. We're addressing your concern of dementia because you have a loved one who had it. And we're also looking at just your overall vitality. Like these are the tools that you can use for anything. Like I was sharing with Renee, sometimes like the diagnosis really doesn't matter when you look at the root causes, because the root causes are going to be the data and information that you need to properly get from the people who know how to do it right, and then support you so that you're basically rehabbing your brain and your body. And the thing that's different about any other course that does functional medicine or even brain spec scans is that I incorporate human design and life path numbers and energy work into the teachings so that you're seeing everything under all of the different facets: biological, social, environmental, cognitive, spiritual, energetic. And that also includes your home. I have both of these courses, the ADD course and the dementia course, have modules of how to organize your home in a way that naturally heals your past trauma and delights you.
Nice.
And so it's really,
I love
really
that.
holistic. When I say holistic, it's like no rock is left unturned. Like this is legit holistic with a W, like holistic
Yeah.
approach.
Nice.
Love that. Again, it's houthustle.com / or .co / Fallon dash bundle.
We'll put it everywhere where you'll see
See
words. You'll,
and it'll be on the live page.
yes, I was going to say that.
Okay, great. So all of these you can find on the live page. And wow, I mean, this conversation just really lights me up because I mean, we talk about this energy and we talk about seeing things psychically and changing things. And then you come in with both sides where you can, see that and tell if somebody's upgrading their DNA and their through crystalline codes, right? And maybe right now that they require more sleep in order to do that in their fifth dimensional upgrade. But then there's also ways that it seems like you can even perceive, like from what they are saying, what kind of supplementation might support them as well. And that just excites me beyond belief. It's a really interesting, approach to, helping people. Yeah, it's funny. I went to an
I love what you
acupuncture
said
once.
about sleep.
Yeah.
Go
And
ahead.
I went to an acupuncture once and I said, he was like, well, what's going on in your life? And I was like, I don't know. I can't make a decision. I'm so indecisive. I'm just like all over the place and don't think that he's going to help me with that. He's like, there's meridian points for that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes. And I tell you, after that appointment, I was clearer and I was ready to make some really powerful decisions.
And you knew that, right? Like from doing the energy work, you knew that before going in. You just didn't.
Know that an acupuncturist could actually help.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
get that. And you know what's funny is that Jeneth always tries to get me to go to the acupuncturist. And I've gone and it does make a big difference. But for whatever reason, I just don't always continue to do it. What do you think that is? I mean, and same thing for like supplements. Like I'll get supplements and then I'll just kind of like, don't always
Are you an
renew.
MG?
I don't know
Are
what
you a
MG
manifesting
is.
generator?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh.
We don't like consistency. And that's the thing is like, that's why 70% of generators and manifesting generators are misdiagnosed with ADHD. And the thing is just because somebody else, and I tell people like do a 6-month protocol, if you stop at 3 months and you check in and you say, truthfully, God, angel, and guides, am I just complete? Because I'm a manifesting generator and I do things really quickly.
Yeah.
You might get a yes.
Yeah.
You know, you might,
Yeah.
you feel complete with things way before.
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely want to
That's
check in with my guides, right? Before I just kind of abandon something.
exactly.
Yeah.
So with sleep, I will share my module on sleep in these courses, you guys, is like amazing. And humans are the only species who deprive themselves of sleep.
Really?
Why do we do that?
Go get
Why do we
brains.
do that? Programming.
I don't deprive myself of sleep.
Work. I don't either. Sleeping Beauty has got nothing on me.
I love sleeping.
It's the
I just
easiest
gonna
way
be
to clean
quiet.
your brain. It's the easiest thing to
I
clean
don't
your
like
brain.
sleeping. I don't. I get bored. I like it's like yeah. I didn't like naps. I don't like that I need naps now. I don't like that I feel like I'm an older person because I have the naps. Like it all bothers me. It's like I'm like it's like I just feel like I mean if I could I'd be like sleep when I die. Like I know that's not true. I do enjoy like having dreams, but no, I mean it's boring. It's it takes up too much time. All that stuff always happens like in my dreams. So I know I'm gonna have a dream. I know I'm gonna have journeys or like whatever. So I'm like, no, it's there. But like, I want to get some stuff done. I know it sounds so bad, but like, it's just boring to me.
You can do it in your sleep. You can do it in your sleep.
I
God,
know.
angel, and guides. I want you to send me 5 opportunities to support the collective that are going to be a really good ROI for me. It's going to be much easier to do that when you're sleeping.
I need to strengthen
in
my
dream
belief.
time with your subconscious, because on the physical side, on the physical brain health of side, less than 8 hours of sleep for a prolonged amount of time significantly, like 4 times increases your chance of dementia.
Right.
And so sleep is really, really important. And following your natural cycles. I mean, there's, times where we need to hermit and sleep a little bit more. And then there's times where I'm in this phase right now too. I'm like, I just want to keep doing stuff. Like, but at some point I have to kind of like wind myself down.
Yeah.
And so that's where the energy tools and the crystals and the things like that come in and are helpful. But sleeping less than 8 hours is like expecting you're having a party tomorrow and your really nitpicky mother-in-law who makes you feel bad about yourself, but you haven't set a boundary yet and kicked her out of your life yet. So she is coming to this really big party that you want to impress everybody by. And your cleaning crew is coming and they only do half of the house. That's what not getting enough sleep is like.
Ooh.
You know how you're going to feel the next day?
No bueno.
Not so hot.
Yeah. That's too funny.
Well,
any other questions from the chat? Let's see. Or anyone that wants
I
to raise
haven't seen any.
Okay. It's tough to ask questions about our own mental health because lots of times, and even myself included, lots of times I want to not believe that I'm experiencing something, or if it's not painful, I don't totally know that I'm experiencing it.
I want to go also in
a little bit of stigma too.
what are some of the things we should do as practices to help our mind focus? And also what are the things we shouldn't do for our
Ew,
brain?
good
Totally.
job.
So, so my favorite thing to do is to get like that old school box of matches and you dump it out and you put every match back in a very orderly fashion. It is really hard, but you
Mhm.
don't need an app. It's fun. You get to smell matches, which makes you think of campfires, and that I
I
think that
like
that's
that.
really fun. And then for me, it's really just detoxing from the technology at night and
Mhm.
allowing nighttime to be your favorite time because you're connecting with yourself, you're connecting with your loved
Mhm.
ones. I think that that's like the most important thing because the reason people have ADHD symptoms, attention deficit symptoms, is because they're not paying attention to the things that they want, right? That's why they come to people like me to get ADHD coaching. They want to pay attention to what their wife's saying and be able to pay attention to what their boss is saying. And they don't want to have to pick certain things that they can focus on and other things that they can't, because it really is dangerous when you think about like when my ADHD was at its most severe. I mean, I was getting in car accidents. I was waking up and not knowing where I was. Like it was really bad. And if I had actually stayed present, paid attention to the things that I knew were good for me, and it can even just be like paying attention to our own breath, right? That's when the shifts really start to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Love that.
sense. Leah said she wants to ask a question if it's not too late. Go ahead, Leah.
Not at all.
Go for it.
Thank you. Um, so I never know if I'm asking the right kind of question,
You
but
always are, sweetheart.
so I have like a lot of crazy ass GI issues for like almost
Mm.
5 years now. But for the past like 9 months, I have what I'm calling are like neurological symptoms that are, it's like a lot of like rocking and rocking is just like rocking and stimming are the words people have been using to describe it. And in my mind, it's all kind of related, but that's just my intuition. That's not anything. And so far, I've only seen GI doctors, no neurologist, but I just can't get to the bottom of the GI. And now the neurological thing or whatever it is starting to happen. And it's scary and weird and annoying.
Totally. Do you feel like it could be something like mold?
Yeah, that's one of the very few things that I haven't looked into. So I think it is a possibility.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll put the name of the test in the chat for you guys. But I will say also that with the gut, if you have or have not been on antibiotics a lot throughout your life, is that the case?
Yeah.
Okay. Your body's just telling you like, hey, we can't do that anymore. And I'm trying to repair what's already been done because serotonins are our happy neurotransmitter. 90% of it is made in our gut. Antibiotics target and basically destroy the serotonin, which can look like neurological symptoms in the brain, which is why a lot of kids that even now mainstream we're talking about autism being a gut health issue, serotonin issue. And when these kids are put on any pharmaceutical, they kind of go crazy because their brain literally doesn't have enough neurotransmitter function to even do anything with the medication, which is why doing the gut specific protocol is really helpful. And I'm going to put a couple resources in the chat for that as well. What neurological symptoms?
It's just like a lot of it's become like a my so things with my jaw like grinding and clenching and just this like rocking as if I have headphones in and I'm beating along to music that it's not doesn't exist.
Okay, so I, for whatever reason, can you see me?
Yeah.
I'm rubbing my right, what is this, clavicle?
Yeah.
In a, this is where my dyslexia comes in, which side? I'm going left, whatever that is. I would do that. That there's some, it's like a tool for you. It might be, I don't know, we'll see what it does, but it'll help. So the rocking can also be another symptom of your brain getting blasted with these crystals. Like anything vertigo-ish, I would say, and like I would put this under that umbrella. You're getting crystals, so you can do things like the Epley maneuver. To help with that, I would definitely try it. It can only help. It literally takes like, I don't know, like 4 minutes to do it. Bear with me. I'm gonna find this stuff for you guys. I hope that was helpful, but yeah, there's something there. Like I literally just don't even want to stop touching my clavicle. Yeah, I'm gonna put, so the mold testing, the Epley remover for when you're getting a lot of crystals in your brain, you're getting vertigo-ish symptoms, and then the gut healing supplements. Oh
Thank
my
you.
God.
Yeah, Dana said the rocking may be a way for you to calibrate the energy a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
that feels
that's
real
That
light.
does seem to resonate, doesn't it?
yeah, that's why people that have autism do that, because it's a gut health issue, it's a serotonin issue. They're trying to integrate.
Integrate, yes.
Absolutely. Wow.
I put something in the chat for myself to remember to tell you, Leonka, and anyone else that's scared to ask a question about your mental health.
Yes,
Mental health is really brain health.
it is.
And
Absolutely.
if you have hurt your brain knowingly or unknowingly, most of us have hurt it unknowingly.
Mhm.
Why would you be stigmatized for hurting an organ when you don't get stigmatized for breaking your arm,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
twisting your
Absolutely.
ankle,
Truth.
even having a heart attack? Like no one gets stigmatized for that. And those are organ issues. This is the
Speak.
reason we have to look at the brain. It's literally the organ that controls your life. It's very easy to hurt and it's very easy to heal.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. What a great
You're
call.
welcome.
And super empowering.
Yeah. Again, her program is 2 programs, and you can get them, both of them, which are absolutely phenomenal and deep and include the whole home sacred systems as well. And you can also get her for a session. There's 2 packages in there, so make sure you go ahead and check out her special offer. Wow.
It gets to
Thank
be
you,
fast,
Fallon.
guys. You're so welcome. The healing gets to be fast. The answers, the
Yes.
clarity,
Yes.
it really does. So don't give up and don't feel like you're the exception in a way that there isn't an answer, because there's an exception and there is an answer.
Mhm. Wow. What a great call.
Thank you
Wow.
so much.
Thank you all so
Oh,
much.
Sally says, love knowing it's easy to help as well as this helps. We're not beyond help. This talk was amazing. Thank you so much, with dual exclamation points. Oh, it's
Thank
so
you
cute.
so much, Sally. I
Yes.
love the when I say my name too fast, which happens a lot. People are like, Sally, and I'm like, no, Fallon, and they're like, oh. So I love that, and I have a
Too
lot of
funny.
amazing resources on my website. I definitely think this bundle is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You're getting so much magic at like literally a crazy fraction of the cost,
Yeah.
and you're worth it. So I love you guys.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, love.
She's so neat.
Mm-hmm.
Really adore her.
Alrighty, 2 minutes. We're gonna get started with the next. We have Lena. I was gonna say Lena Fallon. Franklin up next, and she is amazing. Oh my gosh, she's just one of those that have really taken her journey very far and deep. And so we're just gonna learn a lot from her. And we just need to come back here in like 2 minutes. So
Yeah.
stay close.
Yeah. Any outlining energy or questions going on that you want to put out there?
write in on the chat. Let us know if you, one of the questions that came up for me was, I wanted to know what people, and since this is a mysticism show and my ears stuck, a mysticism show, I wanted to know what types of, what are your gifts that you feel like might be coming online, your psychic gifts? If you want to put those on the chat, I'm just curious. We are all entering this new time of the veil has, in my mind, has really lifted, and that's what Archangel Michael has been sharing with me, and that we've entered into a new time of capabilities. And so there might be the gifts that you've already always known about, but what other things might be coming online for you? For me, I've always been very auditable. So, and my channeling has definitely come full online. So just curious as to what we can share here. This is a no judgment space. So I just wanted y'all to know that as well. And we're also live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
All right, let me just write this one more thing.
So, I'll let you guys deal with that. Thank you guys for your presence today and hanging.
It's been amazing.
It's been a really, really great day. Like, wow.
And if you're wondering why I'm always over here on the side, is because I run the chat on the YouTube, and I try to take questions from there as well. So I try to respond, and it takes me to doing it via my phone and my typewriter. Did I say typewriter?
Yes, you just said
I said I
typewriter.
meant to keyboard. I love that.
All right, Lena, we're gonna bring you up right now. If you're ready. There you are.
I'm ready.
Something happened after our last little talk that I wanted to start with here. And what it was, we found out that you were a soccer player. And I thought, wow, sometimes
But collegiate, right? You both were collegiate.
collegiate.
Were you
Mhm.
collegiate?
Let's
Yeah.
talk about it,
Yes.
because what that really brought up with me is she kind of probably always has followed that game of play,
Mhm.
you know.
Yes.
All right. Well, here we go.
Wait, so let me start it officially.
Yeah.